Hello and a warm welcome to our Easter program. My name's Victoire Chilufya. So in the studios, I'm joined by Father Arthur Tembula. Father, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
All right, Father. So we ended the Good Friday with the silence, and today is Holy Saturday. So Holy Saturday starts with the silence. What's with the silence?
Yeah.
Like there are no activities at church. Like there's just too much silence.
In fact, there shouldn't be activities at church before Mass, or at least some good, like you rightly put it, Holy Good Friday ended with silence, and that silence should be extended to Saturday, because Jesus is in the tomb. So there is that sorrowful silence, sorrowful silence, because Jesus is in the tomb. Jesus is dead. We are not celebrating, at least respecting the silence that should be there. Maybe the liturgical committee wants to come in the morning to ensure that things are ready, are in place for the evening Mass. Fine, they can come. But they will not come and start making noise around the church. They will not come and disturb. Well, it's not just the liturgical committee. Maybe even those others that are playing a particular role in the Mass. They want to come and do a bit of last touches here and there. They should have at the back of their mind that there is a silence that needs to be respected. If there are people that want to come and sweep the church, for example, to prepare the church for Mass, so they will come. Maybe they will come at 14 hours. It's not time now. Back young church. Not let go bloom you. They should, if somebody has to talk to the other, let them whisper, let them talk in a manner that does not disturb the silence that should be there as such.
Okay.
So what we are saying is that, of course, we're not talking about total silence as we know total silence. But people should know, whoever is coming to church on Holy Saturday, whether they're coming in the morning or sometime around the afternoon, whatever, as they are coming to church, they should know that there is that environment which needs to be respected, the solemnity, the silent environment, because Jesus is in the tomb. There's a time that silence is going to be broken when we sing the song of the resurrection of Jesus. It is not time to be silent anymore. But before we sing that, we should be silent. We should not be talking anyhow. We can be talking, but we should lower our voices also as we talk. People that are coming to do the last touches, the last rehearsals and all that, they shouldn't come at 10 o'clock and especially the choir and switch on their virimba. Then 10 o'clock on Holy Saturday. Not at all. If I am parish priest of that particular parish, I'll immediately tell them to go home. People should have rehearsed, should have done the rehearsals before that.
Okay.
Yeah. No litania, kai litania nyovuta soti timbeko litania kalasti. Timbeko chenti kakuma nevutina uzuchechi tikaimbe litania. Do thorough preparations before Holy Saturday, so that we respect the solemnity. Of course, if Mass, let's say Mass is starting at 18 hours, they can come around 17, okay, to do the so-called last minute preparations around 17, around 17:30, to do those little things. But again, it is assumed that those are just minor preparations that they are doing. They have done the major preparations way before that Holy Saturday. So if it is litania, they are just going to go through those difficult parts that it's not time to start preparing litania at 17 hours as if they have just known now that they will need to sing litania. So the point we are making here is to respect the solemnity of the day, the silence, so that as we break that silence, it should feel different. It should feel different that now, you know how it feels when you're breaking the fast, when you have been fasting. And then you break the fast. We're not saying when you're breaking the fast, you eat in arrears. No. When you have fasted the whole day, you have been hungry the whole day. When you come to break the fast, the moment you put something in your mouth, even before it goes down into your stomach, it feels different. it feels, okay. There is that satisfaction to say, yeah, now I can break the fast. Now, you are fasting, let's say Good Friday, we're talking about Good Friday. You are fasting. Bangona chabe wapita kitchen kitumbua. Bangona chabe 11 koloko ichipush. Bangona chabe utoa kusobola apa wajakwa. Lelo sister fasting lelo, but you've been eating the whole day. So now time comes for you to break the fast. Is it 18 hours or is it 19 hours? Nsima. It will not even feel different because you've been eating the whole day. So what fast are you breaking? You're not breaking any fast. If anything, you're just continuing with the meals that we've been having. Vitumbua, maramulikuta vitumbua, maskono, pinchi. What fast are you breaking? It will not feel any different at all. So similarly, we've been silent the whole day, Holy Saturday. And let us keep that silence. Let us keep that, so that when that time comes for us to sing that song of the resurrection, it feels totally different. It feels, yes, now it is time to break that silence. So that silence is important on Holy Thursday, on Holy Saturday, and people should respect it. We should minimize as much as possible any noise around the church. There could be somebody that is coming to pray, to reflect in church, and when you are playing your instruments, your virimba outside, you'll be disturbing that person. Because Holy Saturday before Mass, that the whole day is actually a day of prayer. Someone can come to church the whole day and continue reflecting as they started on Good Friday. Continue reflecting. But if you are also doing your own things, no one is going to come to church on Holy Saturday to do what? To reflect. Because it is a noisy place. So Jesus is in the tomb, and we are sad that Jesus is in the tomb, and that is where the silence is coming from. And so that when he finally comes out of that tomb, his coming out brings us the joy that breaks that silence.
All right. So before Mass starts, the priest would be around the fire, the altar boys, the stellar girls, and the choir. What does the fire symbolize? Some people would say, I've heard that people would say it's the very same fire where Peter had denied Jesus.
Well, I would immediately say no.
Okay.
Yeah, that fire carries a different significance. First of all, there is darkness. There is darkness, or the lights are off inside the church and around the church. Yeah, usually also around the church we switch off the lights unless otherwise. Yeah, but certainly inside the church all the lights are off. So when we are making that fire, we are first of all sending a message that this fire that we have made is breaking this darkness, the darkness of suffering, the darkness of death, the darkness of sin. This fire is so powerful that it can break this darkness that we see around. In fact, it is from that same fire that the Easter candle is lit. And when the Easter candle is lit, the fire, the light is shared with everybody else that has come with the candle for Mass. But everything is starting from the fire. The fire is the starting point of the Easter celebration itself. It is from the fire that the Easter candle is prepared, because that fire in itself has the light that is breaking the darkness. So we need that fire also to light the Easter candle, so that the Easter candle now can be carried to the people that have brought the candles, and the fire shared in unison as a community to break the darkness that has engulfed us. Now, this darkness is not just the physical darkness. It is actually more of the spiritual darkness than the physical darkness. Of course, when you light the candles, you're going to see that there's going to be some kind of illumination around, because the candles are lit. But the goal is not just to break that darkness that we see with our physical eyes. It is also to break the darkness of our hearts, the darkness of our lives, the darkness of sin, the darkness of suffering, the darkness of death, and so many other darknesses that we may want to think about. So the fire helps us to be reminded about that light. the light of the resurrection. So the resurrection is starting from the fire.
Okay.
The priest is going to bless that fire, so that the fire becomes sacramental. You know, whatever the priest blesses becomes sacramental. It becomes not a sacrament, but it becomes a sacramental. It becomes a holy object. A holy object that has the power to fight darkness or to fight the powers of the devil. So when the fire is blessed by the priest, that fire becomes a sacramental. And when it becomes a sacramental, it then acquires the power that it should have to break not just the physical darkness that we see, but more so the spiritual darkness. Such that we can even sing that song that the people that walked in darkness have now seen the light. Because this light is not just the physical light, in as much as it is not just breaking the physical darkness. This light is spiritual. It is also spiritual because it is a blessed light. It is a sacramental light, and it is breaking not just the physical darkness, but also the spiritual darkness in our hearts. And as we march from that fire to the church, we are marching with our candles lit, or first of all with the Easter candle lit, with all the symbolism that we put on it.
Okay. Kindly share on the symbols that are put. We know to say every year on a candle it will be written, like this year it's 2025. This year's candle, is it going to be written 2025? Then I think it has something like some dots, kind of.
Yes, so this year's Easter candle is going to be written 2025. It is going to have those numbers, 2025. Okay? To point to the fact that what the Easter that we are celebrating today is we are reenacting the Easter that happened many years ago. We are reliving this experience. So it is not just a past Easter. We are not commemorating the Easter that happened 2,000 years ago. We are having a totally new experience also in this year. So it is not a past Easter. It is also a present Easter. It is the Easter of today. That Jesus did not just rise from the dead those many years ago. He also he is also rising from the dead to today. And that's why we have that year, the present year, to symbolize the present Easter that we are celebrating. Otherwise, if we didn't have that significance, we could have put there the year in which Jesus died. But we don't want to make this celebration a commemoration of what happened. Otherwise, it remains just in the past. But we want to say, yes, it happened in the past, but it is something that we can also experience anew ourselves. It is happening today as well. Jesus is rising from the dead today in this very year, and that's why we have that year printed on the Easter candle.
Okay.
Then this Jesus that is rising is a Jesus that does not have a beginning and end. It's a Jesus that is infinite, that was there even before the beginning of time. So you're going to see that the Easter candle is going to have those Greek letters, Alpha and Omega. That Jesus is infinite, Jesus is eternal. Jesus is also the beginning and end of everything, because he exists eternally. Those dots that make the cross. Of course, you can't talk about Easter without again referring to the cross, because everything is born from the cross. And those you called them dots, yeah. Those are actually supposed to be incense. Okay. Yeah, like beads of incense. Yeah, in some places where maybe you might not be able to make those beads of incense, they improvise. Okay. They improvise. They make some plastic substance. They burn plastic and make those bola tuja and all that. But ideally, that is supposed to be incense. Yes, and you know the symbolism of incense in the Catholic Church. It is a substance that carries the power of God to dispel darkness, to dispel the power of the evil one. So and everybody, of course, wants to have incense. You do want to have incense in your house, because it has that power, and that incense of course has to be blessed so that it becomes a sacramental. So we have all those symbols pushed together, and the candle itself becomes a sacramental, and the light that it is producing is sacramental as well, so that it doesn't just dispel the physical darkness but also the spiritual darkness. And that is what is shared with the people, with everybody else. When we reach the church and people light their own candles from there, we want to participate in this mission of dispelling the darkness. And the message we want to deliver through that activity is that you see, Jesus might be in the tomb, yes, but he's not going to be in the tomb forever. It's just a matter of time. He's going to come out as a victor. He's going to come out victorious, because he's going to triumph over this. So the light in that sense becomes also a symbol of hope for us. And wherever you are, when you see light in itself delivers hope, becomes a symbol of hope. So Jesus is in the tomb. He's not yet risen, okay? When we are doing the liturgy of the light, Jesus is still in the tomb. We're not yet singing the song of the resurrection. But that light becomes a symbol of hope to say, Jesus is it's just a matter of time. He's about to come out of there. Let us already begin to put ourselves in the Easter mood. That the people that walked in darkness have now seen the great light. Yes. We put ourselves in that mood, because we immediately become people of the resurrection and pilgrims of hope, actually. So that when Jesus is finally risen from the dead, that becomes a confirmation of what we had already started celebrating, right from the place of the fire to the sharing of the light from the Easter candle.
Okay, so on Easter, this is also the day that we, the Catholic, the baptized, do we really get to renew our vows on Easter?
Absolutely. And that is why it is important for everybody, every baptized Catholic, to go to church. Okay. Leave everything that you are doing. Suspend your business. It will not crumble. Don't go to anything else apart from church. Easter Vigil, that Mass is the mother of all feasts. So it becomes obligatory for everybody to attend that Mass. You may not be able to attend for any pressing reason. Maybe you are sick, you are not able to go. Fine, that is understood. I think even God can understand. But don't decide, I will not go to church because I have to watch Arsenal, or I have to watch I have to go and see that movie. Then you're not making a wise decision, I think. Yeah, those things can wait. Arsenal can come and watch the repeat or whatever. At least go to church on Easter Vigil. It is important. There is something that is going to happen in that Mass in which you have to participate, especially if you're baptized. You talked about the renewal of baptismal promises. It is an important opportunity, let me call it, for us to renew our relationship with God at Easter, to renew our vows, our promises, baptismal promises, to say, nakana shetani nasumina lesa, nakana shetani nemirimo yako yonse, and all those other promises that we made at baptism. We renew them. And from that experience, it's like you have renewed your relationship with God. You are not the same anymore. You have renewed your relationship, and after that, of course, you have the freedom to participate in the joy of the resurrection, because you have just renewed your relationship with God. It is important that every baptized Catholic to attend that Mass, because they have to participate in the renewal of the baptismal of their baptismal promises. So attend Mass, you have to renew your baptismal promises. If you're a baptized Christian, Catholic, don't go and watch soccer and not go for Mass. Go for Mass. Later you can go and watch soccer. Okay.
So as you make your conclusion remarks, when does Jesus come out of the tomb, as you conclude?
actually Jesus comes out of the tomb at the point that we chant the Hallelujah.
Okay.
When we sing the Hallelujah, we are saying, Jesus has risen. At what point do we sing the Hallelujah? You see, when we get into the church with our candles and all, we start, we sing the exhortate before the readings. We sing the exhortate. Is it the deacon that sings or the priest? And we do those 7 readings, and then we read the New Testament, the second reading from the New Testament, and the Gospel. Okay. After all that is done, we need to actually, even before we read the Gospel, let me come back to the readings, the 7 readings. Yeah. After the readings are done, those 7 readings that we do, the Hallelujah is chanted. Let me say the Hallelujah is intoned. There is the intonation of the Hallelujah to signify the resurrection of Christ as we sing the Gloria. Okay. So the priest comes there, or the deacon comes there to chant to intone the Hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, la 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 la. Hallelujah, la la la. 3 times. Okay. At that point, even the lights come on, and you see, you can even feel the environment changes, and the choir immediately is doing so it is at that point that we celebrate the Jesus that is risen. Remember, the Hallelujah is only sung when Jesus is risen, or when he rises from the tomb. Okay. So at that point we can even sing now the Gloria, and jubilation continues, or goes on, and all that. After all that is done, then that's when now we get to the second reading, the Gospel, and the homily, and so on and so forth. So at what point does Jesus rise from the dead? At the point that the priest or deacon intones the Hallelujah in a very solemn manner. And he has to do it alone, and the whole church should be quiet, without should be quiet. Let that person.
All the parishes have the deacon in a place where there is no deacon.
So in a place where there is no deacon, the presider himself, the priest, should sing. That is why every priest, it's not every priest who can sing a song or record a song or record an album, but at least every priest should learn how to intone that Hallelujah. Okay. Every priest should learn. Even if you actually abambo imbanya mene actually Hallelujah, but sing it alone. Let people be quiet and listen. There's something solemn about Hallelujah. We have stayed for all these weeks during Lent without singing Hallelujah. There's something about the Hallelujah song, actually. When you sing Hallelujah, it gives you some kind of joy. So tinazimanga tinaliomangidwa yonse intawi ya Lenti. You want to sing the Hallelujah, but you can't because you are still in the period of Lent. So you hold yourself. So that moment becomes important, because it's like now what you are holding was just now chenze chabe hapa. So when time comes for you to sing that Hallelujah, there is so much solemnity about it, and people should give it the solemnity that it deserves. Sing the Hallelujah bambo alone, deacon sing the Hallelujah, then after that people can join in, and the Gloria, and the whole church can break loose if it has to break loose, and so at that point Jesus is risen. At that point it's just, and people can join into the Hallelujah after the intonation and all that, and everybody's happy.
All right, thank you so much, Father, for sharing on Easter, and we believe that you, our dear viewers, have learned so much on Easter, and we are Easter people, and therefore we should behave like Easter people. So remember, it all started on the cross, and it all ended on the cross. So Jesus is the reason for the season. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was great.